Shalom, shalom. Again, shalom, shalom. I give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushua is to the world. He nearly calls Jesus Christ. The Rakakodash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. And there were honors to the outer apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, but willing that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word, but willing that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akbat Yom, that are believers in His faith and His truth, but willing that they can continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving and sound and virtuous wife. The Lord and the Most have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. Today's lesson is kind of going into history. Lord willing, we can speak about things in the present. We did worse than our fathers, but He still has mercy for His people. We did worse than our fathers, but He still has mercy for His people. You know, a lot of people just hopping into the New Testament, which we should read the whole Bible. But a lot of people throw away the history of how we got to the time of Yahushua. People not paying attention to prophecies. A lot of us is not hearkening to the voice or the words of Yahweh Yahushua. I'm going to just read a quick precept before I put the scriptures on the screen. This is Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 24. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the shaft, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of Yahweh of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. The word is the whole volume of the book, which I'm going to get another one again. I'm just bringing out these few precepts before I put the scriptures on the screen. The Lord willing, we can go through what we need to. This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God. Right? Yahushua comes in the whole volume of the book. Even when you go into St. John chapter 5, verse 39, the scriptures lead us to Yahushua. That's why you need to understand the suffering and get the understanding of why I put we did worse than our fathers. And, you know, when you get into this history and the time we in now, you're trying to perfect yourself, not to fall back into who you was in your past life, time before, all the way to your forefathers. The forefathers that actually was cleaving to the Lord, you trying your best to cleave unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, we don't deserve this, but just by the mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we have a fighting chance, you know, to achieve this. You know, that's why I put he still has mercy for his people. He has mercy, he has compassion on whom he has compassion for. And a lot of us might get blinded by certain things that we either have done, you know, which we did in the flesh. But when you come in the truth, that's the first sign of seeing the Lord is somewhat dealing with you. You know, you knowing that you're a Hebrew Israelite, you knowing the Heavenly Father's name. But, you know, to come in this thing, you want to continue to learn, continue to grow. You know, sometimes we learn things and then we see things that we might have done or did right now, and you take accountability. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 15. He says, for he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. Right? It's the Lord that showeth mercy. It's the Lord that has compassion or mercy on whom he's going to have mercy. Right? It says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he harden. The Lord is hardening a lot of men or women's mind. You know, this is why a lot of us don't gravitate, you know, to the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai as much as somebody else, you know, because a lot of us don't consider, you know, we don't consider the history. We don't consider what happens, you know, but, you know, it's just a cause and effect. You reap what you sow. You know, the problems that we deal with, you know, we're affected with Yahweh Shem Yahushai put, you know, put what's around our lot, the things that we can handle. And a lot of things that we can't handle, we can't overcome it with the flesh. You know, a lot of times you can't even overcome, you know, this world or the things you go through by yourself. That's why first and foremost you want to cleave and lean on the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I believe, you know, we become a better parent by what the Lord have told us what to do, especially when you're raising your kid, disciplining your kid, especially if you have a daughter getting her ready for marriage, but literally teaching her how to be a wife, a son, to become a man, or literally a man of the Lord, let alone the Lord teaches us how to be a husband or wife, how to be a man and a woman who leads, right? How to listen, you know, how to really be quiet, especially when you don't know nothing, you know, how to build your faith up by hearing. It's the number one way we build our faith up. You know, just because I'm teaching doing a video, when I'm not doing a video, what am I doing? If the Lord allow me to pray, I'm either reading, or I'm watching a video, or I'm watching another video, or I'm watching a brother do a chapter breakdown, a prophecy breakdown, or get into the parables, or getting into the milk, because I'm still a student. And even me being a servant and prisoner from the Lord, I still got to hear this word because I want to build up my faith. I have things that I'm dealing with, and the best way I can overcome whatever's in my mind or what I'm dealing with is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because everything that I have, whatever you go through, is from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So let's just get into the first precept I want to bring out, and then we'll just see where the Spirit take us. This is Isaiah chapter 1, and verse 3 is the point. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master. But Israel doeth not know, my people do not consider. There's a lot of things we don't consider. Don't consider the name of the Lord. We don't consider this truth or what we're supposed to do. We don't consider our roles. There's a lot that we don't truly consider. We have our mind elsewhere. We have our thoughts elsewhere. Even when you look at certain animals, like when we look at sheep only obey their master, and they know that their master's voice. We have to come back to considering that we're worse than our fathers, and even our forefathers get into the time of the book of Judges, getting in the time of the kings, getting in the time of when Nebuchadnezzar. Every point of our life, we started to get worse and worse. Then we get into the Greek captivity. We got worse and worse. When we got into the Rome captivity, it got worse and worse. Under the Ishmael, got worse. Under Moab, got worse. Under these European Edomites, and we got worse. When America got established, we got worse. And look at every year in America and all over the world, the 12 tribes is getting worse because the world is getting worse. Because we don't consider who he is. We don't consider Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We don't consider what happened in the past for us to get to where we is right now. To Jeremiah chapter 7. Just some history. Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 25. Because I'm starting to realize, even for myself, when I go on the screen, I'll be like, dang, man, we did that. Oh, this happened. And, of course, you got crackheads or homeless people outside. That's nothing new under the sun. There've been mad people outside, homeless, poor, This is Jeremiah chapter 7 and verse 25 to 28. It says, since the day your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt, unto this day I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and singing them, yet they hearken not unto me. Right? Just saying real quick, the Lord, this is a mercy right here. The Lord was always raising up his prophets since the time of Egypt. And if you believe that, you need to have faith and believe the Lord is raising up his prophets. Even you false prophets is raised up for your lot. But his servants, which are the true prophets, they are raised up. And when you go into, I believe the word apostles, it means send out, right? So the Lord is sending them, to the ones that's going to hear, even the ones that don't want to hear. It says, yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers, and of course, this, me doing my little reading, this stuck to me. They did worse than their fathers. And I had to think of, history. I had to think of the book of Judges. I had to think of what the prophets is speaking of, then seeing what the apostles went through, then seeing what Yahushua went through. We got worse and worse. How can not the Pharisees understand that this is who Moses was talking about? But then everybody has a lot. There's going to always be wicked and righteous in the nation of Israel. There's going to always be believers and unbelievers. There's going to always be more unbelievers. There's going to be always more false teachers, right? More false leaders than it is righteous and just and pure leaders. There's always going to be that, because the Lord is evenly balanced, right? What is that? It's 11. Let me just, I'll try to get that behind the scenes. So we got to read verse 27 and 28. Let me just read this precept right here. I believe it's Proverbs 11. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. It says, a false balance is abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. So the Lord has a just weight. Like I said, it's more unrighteous and false leaders and teachers than it is righteous and pure and clean teachers. You know, well, it's more unbelievers, and it's more unbelievers and it's less believers, and it's a just balance to the Lord. You know, the just balance to the Lord. So verse 27 in Jeremiah 7, it says, therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. Right? So every time, brother, when you teaching, you know, it's going to be a lot of, you know, the so-called Black, Latino, Hispanics, and natives that's not going to hearken to this word. You know, it's plain upon tables because it's in the scriptures. Every day when you brothers is hearing this word, even you sisters that's seeing your people outside not hearing, oh, what's going on with the world? Some of you sisters might even see, like, see, they not even listening to the word. Like, we're able to see. A lot of people is not hearkening to the word. You know, some people would rather listen to a psychic than somebody going in the scriptures. Right? Verse 28, it says, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of Yahweh, their power, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth. Right? If you're not receiving correction in any way, a lot of people like doing their own thing. It doesn't matter. Like, a lot of us can go through certain things. Like when I have a problem or any situation, I can go talk to Yermayan, Sam, or Asher, the brothers that I can talk to, even Zion, right? And Bashar, you know, brothers will give me the words of wisdom, you know, in some way through the spirit, they're giving me a correction. Yo, brother, do it this way. Or, bro, you know what it says in the scriptures? That's what helps us. That's what helps us, not a freaking worldly counselor. Really, if real love, or to really get back on that path, when the Lord sends a servant, you know, to come put you in the right direction, that's what we need. Shalom to the person that's in the chat, Sunstar, Emerald, Sapphire. Shalom. So Proverbs 21, like 12 and 1, somebody that's not going to receive a correction, it says, whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Right? To be reproved, to be corrected. And you got to know what it says in what is it, 2 Timothy 3:16. These scriptures was given to us by inspiration of God. When you're reading, you should be getting inspired. You know, you should be getting inspired, for better words. The scriptures was given for us for correction and for doctrine, for reproving. If we're not going to receive neither one of the things that I just said, you are brutish. Brutish means stupid. You know, the Lord is playing chess while we over here playing checkers. You know, he has the best game plan for us. As a human being in this flesh, we fail time and time again. But when we come back to the Lord, we're stronger. I believe this is the chapter, since I quoted that verse. This is 2 Timothy 3:16. It says all scriptures is given by inspiration of God, right? So you should be inspired hearing the word or reading the word. You know, sometimes I can have my mind somewhere and I'm trying to read and it's not fully clicking because my mind is thinking what I'm thinking. Sometimes I rebuke that thought because that it don't hold no bearing. If it got solved, if I let it go, or if I can't fix it for me in my own voice or anything, you let it go. And guess what? The Lord is going to deal with it. That's why we pray to Yahweh Shema Shah about our problems. We confess our problem, even if it's not your problem. It could be somebody next door, and you like, man, that person be cleaving, but Yahweh Shem Shai open their eyes so that they can see. Sometimes we gotta stop trying to take matters in our own hand and call on the Lord. This is why we are worse than our fathers, because we keep trying to take matters in our own hand, but not trying to really go back to the ways of the Lord. So you want to be inspired by God, and it's profitable for doctrine. This is what these scriptures is for. They're profitable for doctrine, right? These scriptures is for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. A lot of us have to be instructed to be in righteousness or to be corrected. Women, men, or women. This is why the Lord created you women. And some of you women are given to men of a different stature that fits his requirements. And the Lord will have him correct you or get on that butt. Right? Because it's all really the Lord. It's all really the Lord. That's why we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because he has the plan, the best plan. Everything we keep doing on our own. Man, I always do this. I always do that. A crackhead that always say they always try to stop smoking crack and they keep going back to it is because they're putting themselves around something that they're weak over. You have to first gain your strength so that you can overcome those things. A lot of us commit certain sins. Some of us have certain plague of the mind. Sometimes confessing them, like I have to confess certain things I have done to sometimes smack myself, but it helps me stand stronger, right? Because you don't want to despise correction, redirection, because then you're brutish. It says that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works, right? You want to be thoroughly furnished in the good works of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Instead of, oh man, I don't want to keep, like, even though it feels good, it motivates you when a brother saying good job, but I can always hit it with a rebuttal. Man, I got to do better. If you know you got to do better, do you see yourself doing better? A lot of us is not doing enough to do better. I can look at, I know what I did 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. But then when I go into scriptures, I get to see what was going on in my past life, like the Babylonian Empire, right? You can even do deeper research on what people was doing in that time. The Persian Medes Empire, the Roman Empire, even in the Egypt Empire, even in the time of the Book of Judges, you be like, dang, man, we was doing that. Sometimes some of us, when we fast, you keep thinking about food. What if all the food was gone? Some of us were starving because the Lord put a famine in the land. Some of us was eating our children. I got to sit here and think, dang, what was I eating my kids? Oh, hell no. So I got to be able to count on the Lord, so that sometimes I'm praying that he brings the worst. What if the worst come and then the food decrease and then you don't got no food? I got to go back into the mode of praying to the Lord that he gives me the strength to still move even though I don't got food. Instead of being a person complaining all the time, what if I got to eat rice all the damn time? I got to call on Yahweh Shem Shai to give me the spirit, the mind to tolerate certain things, because you want to be fairly furnished unto all good works. The Lord is watching us in every moment, every aspect of your day, every aspect of your life. So you're entertaining Yahweh Shem Shai, especially you teachers and you believers. What is it? Uh, spec, spec, spec. I think I spelled it. I probably spelled it incorrectly. So like your family. Spectacle. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Spectacle. So like your family. Try to be a master speller. um, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "For I think that God has set forth us, the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to the angels, and to men. right? First and foremost, you got to understand what you signed up for. It's talking to the men, even you women. You women are, if you are following the men of the Lord, learning under their shoes, or if you have a husband in this thing, through the Spirit, you a spectacle too because of him, right? But of course, really, it just said the apostles. Apostles are out here teaching His word. So what do you think the prophets, what the men is doing? They're out here teaching the word, just doing a sit down or going to the highways and byways, which that's a true spectacle, going out to the highways and byways. But doing these lessons, you are a spectacle. You know, uh, uh, I'm gonna give you the meaning of spectacle. Got to know what you signed up for. Why would we want to turn away from the words of the Lord, where the scriptures is a two-edged sword? They counter every movement, every action you think. Spectacle, a theater, a spectacle, a theater, a place in which games or dramatic spectacles are exhibited. A public assemblies held. For the Greek used the theater also as a forum, a public show, right? Metaphor, a man who is exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of, right? A public show. That's why going to the highways and byways, you look like a spectacle. Even more, the Lord blessed us with this unicorn, this internet, to be able to push the word at a high frequency, a high level, where sometimes you might not even be outside. You might just be in the comfort of your house or out of town on a vacation, whatever, and your mind come across some precepts and you like, damn, I want to go teach. And you're not forced to go outside, and you just go live on YouTube or do a StreamYard and you're doing a lesson. And some people are just going to school, some man, this nigga is the idiot. Oh man, this man always teaching her, so on and so on. Or you're gonna have people that actually believe and they're gonna want to hear this word. The ones that's having problems, whatever you got going on in your life, like some people changed their life. Some people was doing hard drugs, pills, ecstasy, whatever you was doing before you got into it. A lot of people have a certain life that they had. The Lord is calling you, right? Because the ones that's weak, the ones dealing with certain things, they gravitate to the word. But what they do is when they hear in the word, they apply it. So we need to apply the thought that we we're doing or we did worse than our fathers. But for the mercy of the Lord, do you see that you know the name of the Lord? Do you see that you're in the truth and you're coming back to the realization that you're a Hebrew Israelite? Guess what? You cleave to the public show, right? For you to know, you either watch the brother that some of us got on YouTube, we seen Hebrews on the corner, you're like, wait, what the heck are they talking about? The Black Hispanics and natives is God chosen people. What? You was watching a public show. Or you was watching a brother doing a sit down, which is another TV show, and you like, man, this brother is saying that America gonna be destroyed. So, wait, they was in captivity 14 times because they sinned against the Lord. You're watching somebody being a spectacle, right? Being a fool for the Lord just to edify you. You know, the Lord is not gravitating or bringing this teaching for somebody that's righteous, right? This thing is for sinners, people that's weak, right? People that's not wholesome. Now, some of us get whole, we get whole, but guess what? I'm not fully wholesome. I'm still in this mother sucking flesh, still sin with the plague of the mind or other things that you might do. This how I know frequently or daily, as much as I can, I gotta gravitate to reading this word or hearing this word, hearing brothers deliver it. Sometimes I gotta hear a brother speak raw, and it feel like it's stabbing you. It feel like you're like, man, this person talk about me, and they probably not. All Israel is dealing with certain things, but we all need to know we're worse than our fathers. Look where we came from. Look where America was at before we got in this truth. Look how we was moving. Look at the time of the 80s where the truth was out here and crack was on a movement. Cocaine was on a movement. A pimp, drug dealers was on a movement. Being a whore. Right now, it's worse being a whore in certain drugs than it was back then. But all of it was bad because if the children of Israel was doing it, it was bad. That's how we can look and be like, damn, man, we worse than our damn fathers. Imagine if they can see us now, the ancient world seeing you use phones, see how the Sodom and Gomorrah is way worse than it is now. Oh, a man can go get titties and uh, get butt implants. Next thing you know, having hormones, getting thick or whatever, like a damn female, making up their face, caked up, and you walk outside, and you think you're talking to a girl, but you talking to hey, and the mother sucker changing their voice. This Sodom and Gomorrah mindset that's in this world, starting with America, is way worse than what it was. You know, everybody walking around smoking a blunt. In the ancient world, especially when we was following the Lord, nobody was rolling up no damn spliffy. You had other drugs, you had other things that was going on, just like how it is now. Crack. They wasn't smoking no damn crack back then, but they was smoking. They was on something. And look at us now. Look at the mindset that we're in. You know, people was depressed, people was lonely, they was in a lower state back then too. Look how we is now. We're uh, just the same as you committing suicide, you cutting your wrist. I did. A lot of people did. It's people that was doing that in the ancient world. You know, but then when you start looking at people cleaving to the Lord, that was our outlet to let go of those things. And this side, people, America fucked us up so much that some of us is so overwhelmed with the things in our life and our minds and whatever. We're not leaning on to the one that has mercy on us. A lot of us is trying to be a damn superhero without no superpowers. Some of us some of us think that we're really praying, like I keep saying for myself. I could be reading and thinking about my mom or my dad, something that a conversation or something, and it's in my mind while I'm reading. And then I get done reading, I can't even really remember what I read because my mind is somewhere else. You know, that's why we have to be sincere when it comes to seeking the Lord. Be sincere while we walking in this truth, right? For me to be sincere, when I deal with a problem, like a car gets stolen, your house get robbed in, we have to either take accountability or action, but start calling on the Lord, right? Let's get some with Job. A lot of us is not really relating on the scriptures. This is why I get the smile sometimes. Even when things do happen, I get the smile. I'm like, yo, that is crazy that happened. But then right there, I get reassurance, right? This is Job chapter 2. And I'll start at verse 7. It says, so went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with hold. He sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die. This man is getting boils on his body. And a freaking foolish wife, gonna say, you still hold your integrity? Curse God and just die, man. This man got boils. Some of y'all, your freaking flat tire happened. Your car got stolen, which we still can get upset for. You lost your job, which you can get upset for, right? A family member passed away. One of your closest cousins, now they on heroin and they over whatever it is, right? Things are going to happen, but what do you do? Let's see, what do you do after you hearing your beautiful wife, your home dog, your ace boom coon just said, curse, you gonna keep your integrity, curse God and die. What did this man say after she said that? He said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this doing, in all this, did not Job sin with his lips? He said it plain, man, we're not going to receive, we're going to receive good at the hand of God. Shall we not receive evil? That right there is motivation for me. So when things do happen, I always say, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai allowed it. You know, when you go to Yahweh Shai speaking of polite, when polite said, man, he can basically cast Yahweh Shai to death. Yahweh Shai said, you can't do nothing unless it was given to you to do that from above, unless it was orchestrated, you know? So anything you go through, it had to be orchestrated from the heavens, man. Why? Like everyone used to say, man, don't let it burden you too much or whatever you got going on in your head, whatever it is. Just know, like, yeah, like my brother, something happened to his car. And he'll just laugh and like, man, one thing after another. But guess what? All this gonna be destroyed. Then the man turn around and he doing a lesson. And this, this brother is tight. What would cause you to do a lesson? What would cause you to get in these scriptures? What would cause you to think of Yahweh Shem Shai when you got shit going on? Because we know Yahweh Shem Shai over exceeds our problems. Yahweh Shem Shai over exceeds, our finance. You live in check to check. And you need more, but your job ain't, but this is the only job you got right now, and such and such. Hey, what if you're a single parent? You don't got no babysitter. This is why we go to Yahweh Shem Shai for comfort. Sometimes you like, man, I gotta go somewhere. Hey, can you babysit? Hey, I can't do it, man. I'm always doing stuff for other people, but they can't do nothing for me, man. Are you really you worried about people? Right? We ought to obey God rather than men. Shouldn't we turn to Yahweh Shem Shai? A lot of us is trusting in men, but not trusting in Yahweh Shem Shai. Men and women of faith are moved by that divine power of Yahweh Shem Shai. But following under men, they give you that opinion, they give you that feeling. If they're not leading you to the counsel of Yahweh Shem Shai, do you think it's a good idea to follow suit? Did he listen to this fleshful woman right here? No. Through the spirit, he hit her with a counter. And that's how we gotta be. Hit yourself with a counter. Like I'm hitting myself, and Lord willing, a lot of y'all can be hit to understand you're worse than your fathers. But let's look into history of certain things, right? Let's go to the book of Judges. That's why I like going into the history. That's why I like going into the bad. Just getting only into the good just make you feel comfortable for a moment. When you start getting the bad, like, hold on, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like anybody in this world, man. Like I reflect myself on, men of the Lord of this faith. I want to get up some of that courage, like that lady in 2 Maccabees 7. I want to be able to endure where I'm not afflicted. Oh no. Oh, let me say my command. Are you telling your kids, hey, take that torment, man? Because you know who we serve. I'm gonna see you in the resurrection. She's strong as heck. Any one of us would be like, oh no, oh man, okay, we'll do it, we'll eat it, we'll eat that pork, or we'll take that karag, but hold on, don't kill my son. I don't want to be that. I don't want to fall under pressure. I don't want to fall under pressure in trying to live an extra few lives just so that my kid or myself won't get tortured, just to please them, but not please Yahweh Shem Shai. A lot of us got these things twisted. A lot of us is trying to please the world, please ourselves, but not really realizing we're here to please Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? So we're gonna read Judges chapter 2, verse 11 to 23. You can read in the KJV too, but let's see if this is gonna hit even more in the NLT. And we can read verse 11 down to 28. You see what it says at the top. Israel disobeyed Yahweh. After that, verse 10, it says, after that generation died, another generation grew up who did not acknowledge Yahweh or remember the mighty things he had done for Israel. This where mercy come into play. Because now if you're able to remember what the Lord have done, if you watching lessons, even if you read them and you come across certain things that happen in past tense and history, you get to actually be thankful. Like, dang, we did this. Guess what? The Lord is allowing you to remember who you are in your captivity. The Lord is allowing you to remember what the Lord has done for you. This is where we got to be thankful to Yahweh Shem Shai. He thought about us before we even thought about him. Verse 11, it says, the Israelites did evil in Yahweh's sight and served the image of Baal. They abandoned Yahweh, the God of their ancestors, who had brought them out of Egypt. They went after other gods, worshiping the gods of the people around them, and they did anger Yahweh. Even more, when we read these things, this is why we needed Yahweh to come at the time that he did. Because we were still, after this and all the way to Yahweh, we was trying to sacrifice animals for our sins. That didn't do nothing for us. They abandoned Yahweh to serve Baal in the images of Ashtaroth, right? A lot of us abandon the ways of the Lord, going into the faith, the law, statutes, and commandments. A lot of us abandon the Lord when we go through problems. Man, I don't want to hear what the Lord got to say. Sometimes you're not even saying that. Your action shows you abandon Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You turn your back. I did that before when I was in jail one time. But this is before the truth, where I wanted to get out of jail, and I thought I was getting out. And the judge sentenced me and he's like, nah, you ain't getting out. But I got so angry, went back to my cell. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to read. And this brother that was a pastor, like, man, don't let that anger hold you down. It's already finished. Man, I don't want to read. This man put that Bible on my chest. I started crying like a baby. And I really, in that moment, even though I wasn't in the truth, that's the example I abandoned the Lord, man. I don't want to hear no word. I don't want to hear nothing, even though I wasn't getting taught about the history in the Bible and stuff. That's an example of abandoning the Lord, which a lot of us try to take matter in our own hands. Verse 14, this made Yahweh burn with anger against Israel. So he handed them over to the raiders who stole their possessions, right? Basically, raiders would be somebody spoiling you. He turned them over to their enemies all around, and they were no longer able to resist them, right? You could read the whole book of Judges and see that we'll come back to the Lord and then go back to the nation ways again. And the Lord will give us to nation after nation. And look, throughout our history, this what followed us. Why do you think you're in America? Why do you think you're scattered four corners of the earth? Just because you ain't getting whipped with a string? You don't think you're still in captivity? The little horn in Daniel 7 is ruling the earth right now. You are in captivity because the Lord has to save you from your oppressors, the ones that's holding you captive. You're in their system, right? It says, and they were no longer able to resist them, right? Which a lot of us right now, it's hard for us to resist these nations. We're living around them, right? It says every time Israel went into battle, Yahweh fought against them, causing them to be defeated, just as he had warned, and the people were in great distress. This is a beautiful point. When you go to Judith, the 5th chapter, verse 17 down to 24, you understand when we get spoiled or taken, broken down, women ravished, we're not even in our land, is because we're weak. The Lord is not with us in a state of mind of destroying the nations. We're weak. But when it comes to this knowledge, this is our main weapon. Ephesians 6 and 17, this is our main weapon. The Lord has given us the Rakak Wadash to teach us all things and move us. But to overcome our enemies, to destroy them, that's not happening until all is fulfilled through these prophecies. And later on, these nations is going to get what they asked for, and the true unbelievers. That's why some people, like even for myself, rebuking myself, family that I might have problems with, anything in this world that can hold me back from growing or perfecting myself, I can be held accountable. This is a grace period right now. The mercy door is open right now. And the Lord is showing favor unto us to be able to grow our faith. You know, the more you grow, the more you start thinking, man, I don't even deserve this. But you're always drawn to hear the word. You always feel like you learn something each day. And then when you learn, you apply it in your life. That is mercy. that the Lord has given us the chance to grow and understand the ways that the Lord don't like. This is mercy. Shalom. Akwatiara. Right? This is mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now, verse 16, it says, then Yahweh raised up judges to rescue the Israelites from their attackers. One of the judges is Yahushai. The other judges is the prophets. I might call myself a prophet. You know, I still got to do my due diligence, so I'm not teaching a lie. We're being rescued through the Spirit. When you start coming into this knowledge and understanding who you is, that is a form of you spiritually getting rescued, right? Because that's the number one thing we need, that wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the Lord, so we can get back to moving like an Israelite. We're not physically, let's make an army. We don't got the money or the resources to make our own army, to make trade with the rulers that be, hey, we want guns, and we're living in the land that they own. Right now, this is about us spiritually and mentally getting back to the Lord, right? Because eventually the Lord is going to physically send Yahushai to rescue us from our attackers, from our oppressors. Yet Israel did not listen to the judges, which we do every day, but prostituted themselves by worshiping other gods. How quickly they turned away from the path of their ancestors who had walked in obedience to Yahweh's commands. Whenever Yahweh raised up a judge over Israel, he was with that judge and rescued the people from their enemies. Throughout the judge's lifetime, for Yahweh took pity on his people who were burdened by oppression and suffering. Right? The Lord had pity on us. This is why we got this knowledge now. This is why when you look at, so you really, excuse my language, you got to really say fuck certain things, man. Anything that's weighing you down, sometimes you, like what people used to say when they used to smoke, like Cat Williams, as soon as you hit that blunt, you start fuck it. Your rent, you only $100 short. You had that mindset, fuck it. When it comes to this, sometimes you don't want something to hold you down, where it's not lifting you up. That's why a lot of Jake ain't getting this truth now, because they're so held on. Oh man, I gotta make 6 figures. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh man, we can make as much as we can right now. That is good. You can make money, but you want to put Yahweh Hashem Yahushai before. That's why the things of this world is a distraction. You know, everybody think this world was created before the things of the Spirit. Some people really think living your best life on this side is more important than living your life for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We got it backwards because we were taught wrong. That's why it's good to look in history. Go look at slavery. How do you think you got to where you at right now? If physical slavery didn't happen in America, building the railroads, building these Congress buildings, if those things did not happen, you would not be where you at. When you talk about credit lines up with that. In most high schools, you're not taught credit. You know, people, Christianity, they did this and that. A lot of y'all are not looking at your history to see how did we get to where we're at. Why is the Bible taught this way in a Christian church, and then these brothers is teaching it this way? I never heard a Christian say precept upon precept until I heard Hebrew Israelites, you know, that is of that nation, say we got to read the Bible to get understanding, precept upon precept. If we're reading a chapter, we're going to break the chapter down with precepts. I didn't hear the church bring that out. So why is these brothers saying that? Let me go search it. You know, everything outside this truth is a distraction. You know, you got the Christian church teaching you prosperity. You got some Israelites teaching you prosperity, but they're not teaching you the spiritual prosperity of understanding who you is, preparing yourself for prophecy to be fulfilled, being prepared to know that all this is going to be destroyed and it's not going to last forever. How can I be prepared if I'm so worried about 6 figures, $1 million, my next TV show, my next business? And that's fine, have a business, but you're not getting yourself ready for what's to come, right? Verse 19, it says, but when the judge died, the people returned to their corrupt ways, behaving worse than those who had lived before them. They went after other gods, serving and worshiping them. They refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. And that's us now. We refuse to give up our practices or our stubborn ways. Things that put more of a burden on us. Some brothers, they in this thing and we still cleaving to smoking weed. I was doing that. I was not progressing because I was still smoking. Then when I let go of weed, I'm like, man, I'm gonna need an outlet. Then I start smoking a black. And that's not even no better. And all those things was making me slack. Then I'm getting a bottle and drinking every damn day, which is nothing wrong with drinking. But as soon as you drink, you get the influence. And guess what? I don't want to read under the influence. I don't want to do this under influence. That was taken away from having the Lord abide in me and helping me to grow. What did John say in St. John 3:30? He must increase and I must decrease. That's you in decreasing in yourself and allowing Yahweh Shema Shai to increase in you. The more you do that, you start to not tolerate certain things, right? I'm gonna get a side precept, but I'm gonna finish this. Right? It says, so Yahweh burned with anger against Israel. He said, because these people have violated my covenant, which I made with their ancestors, and have ignored my commands. I will no longer drive out nations that Joshua left unconquered when he died. I did this to test Israel. So the Lord left nations around about Israel to test us, to see whether or not they would follow the ways of Yahweh as their ancestors did. And this is talking about us in our land. Let's look at America. Let's look at it, Jamaica. You're around all these other nations, right? Even your own brothers and sisters, you come in this faith or you're not in this faith. Do you cleave? Are you cleaving more to what this government, what this world is pushing, or the people around you, or are you cleaving to Yahweh Shema Shai? You got to ask yourself that. You know, ask yourself that. Now, this is other one. Let me see if this gonna pop up. If it don't pop up, I'll find it. Okay, since that didn't work, I found it. This is Luke chapter 21. I believe the verse is verse 19. For real. Sometimes I look at myself, try to rebuke my flesh in the mirror. You got this shit twisted. You know, this is way bigger than my little problems. Yahweh Shai got the biggest problem. His own people, the people of his own nation, don't even believe in him. And I could be worried about a tire or whatever it is. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 19. Let's put it in the KJV. I like how it stated, by standing firm, you will possess your soul. I like that. No, you will win your soul. I like how it said that in the NLT. But that's what it says in the KJV. It says, in your patience, possess ye your souls. Right? And being patient is not just sitting idle. You're being patient and occupied. You're being patient and you're watching and you're praying. Right? That's why with the Lord, a lot of us, we need to put our worry onto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. I'm going to start at 6. It says, Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. We should be doing this every day, humbling ourselves, being lowly on the side. Some people, there's another thing that I learned. Somebody that's humble is not saying they're humble. I'm trying to be humble, let alone if you're trying to be humble or if you are humble, people are going to already see it. Oh, I do it every day. Nah, you ain't humble. You ain't humble because it should be seen. You know, somebody saying, I'm sincere. I'm being sincere. A person that's sincere is not saying that they're being sincere. It's already seen that they're sincere. You know, when you want to humble yourself, you naturally do it. Other people are going to see that you're humble. Like, I hear my brothers, man, say to one brother, or we might say to Yamayana, you say, Asher, man, you a humble brother, man. You know, man, or you be like, man, bro, that was a fire precept. Well, it's not me. It was all Yahweh, man. It's, you can see somebody being humble, like with Abraham. You can see my faith through my works. You can see my works through my faith. We can see when somebody is humble. You can see when they're sincere. Somebody saying they're humble, they're not humble. That's like the loudest one in the room is really the brokest. Oh man, I'm rich. Nigga, literally you're not. You know? Verse 7, it says, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. This is what we do. This is the best thing any one of us can do, right? Casting all our cares upon Yahweh Shema Shai, because he cared for us. That Yahweh will care for you way more. He sent his son to die for you, man. The biggest form of somebody caring for you. That's why in verse 8, he says, be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right? When you truly come in this thing, you must know that the left-hand side, through the spirit, the devil is trying to consume you, man. Right? That's why you have to be vigilant. Let's see what this vigilant. Let's see what being vigilant is. Everybody got a purpose. Being vigilant in the biblical usage says to watch. See, you being vigilant, you're watching. Right? Metaphor, give strict attention to. Be cautious, active. Come on, man. Right? Give strict attention to. What did you give strict attention to? Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's why I said be sober. Right? To be cautious. You know? That's why we got to be circumspect. You got to be cautious in this thing. You got to be active in this thing. The more active, like that's why I said to be patient is to be occupied. That's Luke 19:13. The Lord told him, he was giving them all coins. He said, occupy till I come. The Lord know that you're going to deal with things, but guess what? A faithful servant is going to always go to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're going to let it go because they're going to understand that none of us can fix none of our problems the way that we want to. You know? Like if a woman is single, just use this as an example. A woman is single, her kids don't got a father, right? Now, say if she's in this truth and she get her a dude, he's faithful or however you want to call it, he loves her. But say he don't believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Do you think just through the spirit, is that going to be more of a burden for a woman that actually believes in the Lord and this person don't believe in the Lord? Even though if you with that dude and y'all already did y'all thing, you got to be with somebody that he still want to rock with you, but he's an unbeliever. But just imagine if you know beforehand. Don't the scriptures say really a good wife is given to a man that feareth the Lord? So at the end of the day, you should be giving strict attention to knowing who you're giving to. If we were more active with Yahweh Shem Shai, a woman that is a good wife, she would see that she's given to a man of Yahweh Shem Shai. Because a wicked man, when we go in the scriptures, it says, what is it? Sirach 36:24, where it says, a man can, a woman can get laid with any man, but a man should be careful choosing his wife. A man got to pick his wife carefully. That's a God-fearing man because he's being cautious. He gives strict attention to Yahweh Shema Shai, like, you know, women are the weaker vessels, so and so and so. Man, I need a woman that want to fear the Lord. I need a woman that want to learn. I need a woman that wants to grow. So that man, if he don't believe, literally, even a man that's of the world, most men of the world is going to be with a woman that reflects on him. I just use that as an example. So just using this just in your faith, you in this walk, give strict attention to what? To the people around you, right? And give straight attention even to yourself, because you should always be consumed with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like when I'm around my brothers, I can feel something or see something to know this brother is about Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because brothers can have a worldly conversation about something and it all leads back to the Lord. Oh, you seen this girl? Man, this girl, she had a dog and her dog bit her and tore her damn leg up. Yo, this baby face got ripped by the dog and it died. Oh, brothers start thinking, this is a judgment of the Lord. You know, the Lord put spirits on people. The Lord created spirits for vengeance. How are we talking about this? And then it comes to the scriptures. Oh, brother, how your day, man? My day is good, but try to start my car started making noise. And then you'd be like, man, brother, I can help you. Nah, man, I'm gonna deal with my situation. And you'd be like, yo, this man trying to deal with the suffering, because then it comes to, man, as long as I'm able to do a video and still get to where I'm gonna get to, I'm good. To see somebody say that, that's being humble, but that person is giving strict attention to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're being active in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're being cautious because they don't want their mind to drift off of their needs and their wants. So that, oh man, I need this, that. Now we're so worried about this need and this want that we're taken away from our true purpose of being vigilant. The left-hand side is trying to overcome a nigga, you know? So all praises, man. That right there, I might have to keep this in my membrane because that is fire, right? Look, it said Strong's definition to keep awake, watch, right? So to keep awake is being vigilant, man. To keep awake, Romans 13:11. Awake out of sleep, for now is your salvation here than before. So if we know our salvation, that's why you can't hold on to anything. We can't get away from voodoo. Get away from Christianity, get away from trying to contradict the scriptures. You want to really pray to the Lord to give you a yielding soul to receive what is being said, right? You want to stay awake. What is it? Freddy Krueger, when they go to sleep, he'll come in their nightmares. You got to stay awake in this thing, man. There's a lot of us that's not being vigilant, right? Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, verse 10 to 13. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 10 to 13, it says, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore have Yahweh pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against Yahweh our power? Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith Yahweh, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. Even more, which is your motivation to go harder for the Lord, because in your past life you were serving another God, or you thought you were serving Yahweh Shemashah, and you wasn't. That goes back to thinking 5 years ago too. Man, I was actually saying Jesus all the time. Every time I pray, I thought I was seeing the white Jesus. Hey, regardless, false or fake, did you even know any of the history? What was going on? Did you ever hear about Israelites? You get afflicted. The more you grow in this truth, you're like, damn, I was lied to. The Lord had me believing the lie. I was in a strong delusion mindset. I was moving like a Gentile. You know, the more you come into the realization, the more hungry you're for this. Right? 12, it says, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, your evil mind, and that they may not hearken unto me. That's why Jeremiah 17:9. Nobody knows the heart is more deceitful than anything, man. It's more deceitful than anything. A lot A lot of people be trying to move their life, fix certain things with their damn heart. And you don't even know your heart. You can't even master it. I always tell myself, I say I love the Lord, but if I don't really know my heart, do I really love him? But what is love? What is love? I'm gonna get a side precept. I'm not gonna put it on the screen just for time's sake. What is love? We got many examples, but this is love right here. This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed, in truth. That's how we love. We love with action and we love with truth. What is truth? The word. So you love the Lord through his word that he gave you, man. You know, every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh Shem Shai. You take that into consideration. You put that in your heart. Hey, if you don't fully understand it, what does it say? Be vigilant. You be active. Try to make yourself available to get to know it. That's why the Lord gave us his internet, so we're able to hear lessons and breakdowns. You got a problem, that's why you single sisters should be asking brothers so that they can, give you the right understanding. You sisters that got husband, you should be using your husband when it comes to this knowledge. You know, everybody, we always use everything else in this world for one another. Hey, babe, I want to get it in. Oh, can we make love tonight? We hurry up and do that. Hey, can we watch a movie? Can we chill? Hey, can you make that special recipe that you made? We'll hurry up and do that 24/7. But when it comes to our problems, when it comes to getting stronger, when it comes to believing more, we're not using our husbands or the men of the Lord when it comes to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Some people using the television more than they using the prophets. Some people is using that television, they cell phones more than they using the Rakak Wadash. Some people is using their cell phones, the TV more than they're praying. Who's to say your prayers is you're really praying if your mind is everywhere else? You know, got to really take accountability for myself. Imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. Therefore, I will cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers. And there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. Wherever Jacob is right to, we're in the same spirit where we're serving a different God day and night. So if you in this truth, that is the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? Let's get something. What did Paul say right here? And this is my motivation for myself. This should be your motivation too. Depending what name you call in the Lord, you growing, doesn't matter. Baby steps in this thing, how you growing in this faith. But you should know because you're in this thing. If you are, 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 12, and I think Hamashiach Yahweh Lord, who have enabled me for it, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. Even more, he deserved it all. He put you in the ministry because he seen you as faithful. Being faithful, you committed. When you go into the Maji of Numbers 12 and 7, when it says Moses was faithful unto the Lord, the word faithful goes into being a supporter of the door. St. John 10 and 27, the door is Yahweh. And if we went to 1 Peter 5 and 7, you're casting all your worries onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. A lot of us ain't doing that. And we hurry, oh, I am. If you is you, none of us is gonna hold or deal with certain problems. If a crackhead really want to get done with crack, they're gonna go to rehab and take it serious. If a stripper says she don't want to strip no more, she's gonna make actions to get away from the strip club. You make action. Just like when you want to make more money, and instead of stop buying this, buying liquor, buying J's, when you get your check, you save it and you spend it for the important things, but you just keep saving, keep saving, keep saving. You make action. Just like, oh, I want a kid. Hey, go get freaky. Go get freaky, get busted, and guess what? Now you got a baby. You got to make action. You know, you got a body odor. You got to start cleaning yourself way better, and you got to do it consistently. Get some type of good smell good. Go search it up. You got to make action. You know, your skin is bad, your face bad, you break out a lot. You go look up certain things that you can use to, to fix, the acne or bumps, your skin breaking out, your immune system. You made action to do that. So how much more you should be putting the effort in your how Hashem Yahushai. Make action, right? Let's go to Psalm 78. This is Psalm 78 in the NLT, and I'm reading from 56 to 64. '56 to 64, and this is what it reads. It says, but they kept testing and rebelling against the Most High. They kept testing and rebelling against God Most High. They did not obey his laws. They turned back and were as faithless as their parents, right? And just a sidebar, is your mother, your father in this thing? Because this is talking about the ancient world. Look at you now. Judges 2 and 10. Every time a generation grew, they did not know Yahweh Shemashai. They did not know his way. Look at you now. Go look at your mom, your dad. We don't want to keep that same mindset after generation to generation. You're the next generation after your mother, your father, or your brother. Right? That right there smacked me in my face, because when I look, my grandmother, my mom and dad is not in this thing. They're faithless. Truly is. Right? Then when you go to them, how much more their mother and father? We can't keep doing the same thing. This is the mercy of the Lord right in front of us. Now we're turning back that face, right? We're turning back that face. It says, turn back and were as faithless as their parents. They were as undependable as a crooked bow. They angered God by building shrines to other gods. They made him jealous with their idols. When God heard them, he was very angry, and he completely rejected Israel. Then he abandoned his dwelling at Shiloh, the tabernacle where he had lived among the people, and he allowed the ark of his might to be captured, and he surrounded his glory into the enemy hands. Right? You can go into history and see when that happened, especially with the Philistines. They took the Ark of the Covenant, they put it right next to their idol Dagon, and the Lord smite Dagon, their god, their idol, and smitten him down. And then the Philistines like, yo, we got to get him the hell up out. We got to get the ark the hell up out of here. The Lord did that because of Israel, man. It says he gave his people over to be butchered by the sword because he was so angry with his own people, his special possession, right? Who's a special possession? A peculiar possession. Deuteronomy 14 and 2, Deuteronomy 7 and 6, right? We're a special possession, let alone a possession is a wife. The children of Israel is a wife to the Lord, man. It says their young men were killed by fire. Their young women died before singing their wedding songs. Their priests were slaughtered, and their widows could not mourn their deaths. Yo, we was getting mollywopped in history. Look at us now, man. We're not established with the priests. Judah, you do this. Niggas called African, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban. Through the grace of Yahweh Shem Shai, he is allowing us to rise back up through his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Just the one little thing you should be thankful for, man. One little thing you should be mad thankful for. Yahweh Shem Shai is allowing you to come back. You're going to get another one in the NLT. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read something. Because this right here, what I'm about to read, is by the mercy of Yahweh Shem Shai when you truly understand it. This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. It said, 2 verse 30. It says, outside at 29, it says, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. We all didn't want to hear the Lord. But even more is many unbelievers that don't hear the words of the Lord. Right? It says, but in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Truly, the believers are going to remember themselves. You're going to still slip because you're in this faith, but the true believers are exceeding more to learning, exceeding more to be the wife of the Lord, right? How can a woman be a wife of the Lord if she's not cleaving to the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai? If she's not seeking her foremothers, how they was moving, just like a man of the Lord. How I'm gonna be a better man of the Lord, a better husband, or a better father if I'm not going back searching my forefathers in the scriptures? See how they was moving when they was following the Lord. They endured to the end. You understand? So when we start to know who we are in our captivity, we start to grow. But it's not us that's growing. It's the Lord growing within us. Verse 31. And they shall know that I am Yahweh Shemel Shai, their power. For I will give them a heart which is a mind, and ears to hear, right? To receive, to listen. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. If you're able to face the east and say, call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Brakat the Yahweh, Brakat the Yahushai, and bring your prayer, just that little thing should make you feel, oh man, Lord, why did you allow me? And I'm a filthy rag. You see something in me that I don't see in myself. You got my kids in here believing. Guess what? Your kids is the next generation. And when you look at your family, your cousin, your homie Gigi, right? And they not getting it, they're not calling. The Lord bless you that it's not what they call it, a family curse. We can't change the family curse, but we do by humbling ourselves and turning back to the Lord. When a parent, really the parents, the father, the mother, when we turn back to the Lord, just imagine the people under you, your children, they're going to turn back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And that's your motivation to go hard. Like, man, yo, my nephew, oh man, my baby girl, Tamika, look, she's turning to the Lord. She know the Lord's name. Oh, my daughter is 5 years old and she know the Lord's name. You know, she ain't doing holidays. Even though you might slip, you might, do this and that. Those little things keep us strong in this thing as much as we can, right? Verse 33, it says, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. How are we going to remember? By reading, right? Study to show thyself approved. That's how we're going to remember, man. That's how we going to know. What did Mufasa tell Simba? Remember who you are. How are you going to remember? If you're drawn to the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, right? You can keep on reading, but we just gonna get back to this last precept in Isaiah chapter 5. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 18 and 19 in the NLT. It says, what sorrow for those who drag their sins behind them, their robes made of lies, who drag wickedness behind them like a cart. They even mock God and say, hurry up and do something. We want to see what you can do. Let the Holy One of Israel carry out his plan. For we want to know what it is, right? There's so many people that's still saying this today. And we talking about the time of what Isaiah said. Israel's still doing that, man. The Lord taking too long. That's why brothers leave this truth. Because Hamashiach Yahushua is taking too long. The Lord got Yahushua taking too long. As soon as you start telling people, show me where your God at. Call his name and show me where he at. Like before, I used to diss my brother when he used to say he seen a chariot. This is before I really grew. Because they were so far and you could see them, but how the heck you know that's a chariot? We ain't got no telescope to zoom up, but that you live by faith, not by sight. And they're doing things that's humanly impossible. I had to grow more. I had to read more. I had to be serious about this. Then I started to grow. And one day on my way driving to Philadelphia, I got to see a big ass circle chariot light ride with us all the way from Buffalo to Philly on the right hand side of the car. Then fly and get to the left side of the car. Then hop right back on the right side of the car. We're talking about a big circle light. And it was cloudy that day. It was cloudy at night. And it was, you could see a light through the clouds, coming through the clouds on the right hand side of the car, and then fly over to the left hand side of the car. The same brother I used to diss about those chariots, he was in the car with me right there. And then I'm like, yo, those, man, brother, I'm sorry I was dissing you. Those is chariots, man. This thing was moving on the right hand side of the car to the left hand side, and then back on the right hand side. Then ever since that day, I just been seeing chariots nonstop. One day I seen a fireball, like people might say a shooting star, but this was a fireball spinning in a circle. It flew over my brother's house. We all stood up and looked at it. It shot right out the atmosphere. We seen it shoot out the atmosphere. People say a shooting star, it just make a rainbow oval and then go down. No, this joint shot over the house. As soon as we stood up, it shot right out the atmosphere. And it was moving at a speed a human can't move, and it's on fire. You know, you don't want to be in the spirit, man. Show me the Lord will. Man, Lord, if you're dealing with me, please remove this right now. Some of us is trying to tempt the Lord, but are you being sincere? Some of us will say, Lord, if you remove this from me, I won't do it again. Then you see him remove it. Oh, yes, he did it. And then you go right back to it. Be careful of making vows to the Lord or a promise to the Lord and you go back to it. You know, you got to know your flesh and the left-hand side spirit don't want you to get this. Let me get this last one. It just came to my mind. I did say this was the last one, but this precept just came to mind. I believe 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7. For we walk by faith and not by sight. And you're going to do this every day, man. If you have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we're putting all our worries, our cares of anything. You could be in this faith and you want to provide for your house and things are getting a little tight. You want to have faith in the Lord and you go pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai through the Spirit, your old job, or you might get this job you was waiting for online and you might get it. But dealing with the Lord is a continuous thing. It's not, oh, I'm going to believe in him only in this time. No, you're doing it as much as you can. Right? So, Lord willing, this was edifying to the sheep of Yahweh Shema Shai, regardless if you is in this truth or you coming in this truth. Lord willing, you're edified and you can continue to praise Yahweh Shema Shai because it is mercy that you're in this thing. It's mercy that you know his name. So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. It is time to take those shackles off and constantly put on the position of being a servant or a prisoner in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And with that, I want to say shalom. Shalom.